If I needed to live in a city near Boise that had a ton of amenities like parks, restaurants, shopping, and schools to raise kids, I'd pick Meridian, Idaho. Meridian, Idaho is most well known for its rapid growth, its family-friendly atmosphere, and all of its indoor and outdoor recreation opportunities. So what all is there to do in Meridian? One thing that's going to be a staple of Meridian is always going to be the village at Meridian. Hanging out at the village is always an awesome experience. It has a lively atmosphere filled with music, people, and the smell of all sorts of different kinds of food. There are a variety of different shops and stores available there, from popular clothing brands to unique boutiques, and you can find something for just about everyone there. In the evening, the center of the village comes to life with a bunch of lights and sounds as the fountains put on shows at the top of every hour. And here's a neat thing. The person who designed the fountains at the village is the same exact person who designed the fountains at the Bellagio in Las Vegas. If you're visiting the area, I highly recommend you check out the village. It's a great place to spend an afternoon or evening, and it has something for everyone to enjoy. One of the biggest things right now in Meridian is going to be Top Golf. They just opened this year, so it seems like everybody and their cousin is trying to get in to check it out. So if you're wanting to hang out with some friends at the driving range, you absolutely can. And if you want to do some real golfing, there are 4 golf courses directly in Meridian, but a total of 24 in the Boise area. And if you're looking for an exciting and fun-filled water park experience, I highly recommend checking out Roaring Springs Water Park in Meridian. It has all sorts of different water slides like its Cliffhanger and its Viper Vortex, or the Wave Pool and the Lazy River, and even a children area. So no matter what you're wanting to do, if you want to go drop straight off of a slide or just float down the Lazy River or bob in the Wave Pool, there's something for everyone there. Roaring Springs is perfect for families, groups of friends, and anyone looking to get out of the heat in the summer here and have some fun. One thing you do need to know, you can buy tickets online and you can look at a bunch of different time slots and stuff like that, because it does, let me tell you, it will get packed in the summer. Now, a neat thing, Roaring Springs is having one of the biggest water park expansions in the entire nation. So it used to be a smaller park and it's growing by a ton. You can see from the video, they have opened a smaller part of it, of the new addition, but there's that whole dirt parking lot that is going to be water park as well. So it's going to be doubling up in size. And right next door to it is going to be the Wahoo's Family Fun Zone. I highly recommend it for anyone that's looking for some entertainment. They've got a variety of different things to do, including an indoor arcade, mini golf, bumper boats, go-karts, batting cages, a ropes course, laser tag, all sorts of stuff there. There are over 20 parks throughout Meridian that fit all different kinds of needs. Many of them having playgrounds and grass fields to host sporting events, and a handful of them even having stock ponds for fishing. This pond that I'm filming at right now is behind the village at Meridian, and there are multiple ponds there that people are fishing in, and there were even a bunch of bluegills, panfish that were in there spawning. I tried to take videos of it, but I don't know if it's turning out well. And seasonally, one thing I'm going to add, the Boise area has some seasonal residents that fill up the parks, leave a bunch of evidence behind, and are not exactly so friendly. And that is going to be geese. So they all swarm to the Boise area in the fall and winter, have their babies here in the spring, and then they'll leave. But they can be kind of hectic. Even one year, the city of Boise said, hey, our dogs on leash policy in the parks, we're going to repeal that for a little while, because please bring your dogs to the parks and scare off all these geese, because the parks are just covered in crap, and geese aren't exactly friendly. They'll come after you. But the geese with jewelry, they know not to come near me, because I like to collect that stuff. If you're a hunter, you'll know what I'm talking about. An undisputed part of living in Meridian is going to be the Meridian Speedway. The Meridian Speedway in Idaho is a quarter-mile paved oval track that's been hosting high-speed racing events since 1951. It has a great family-friendly atmosphere and grandstands that can accommodate over 5,000 spectators. It is a must-visit destination for racing enthusiasts, and a neat thing about it is that it sells out almost every single weekend. So if you want to be sure to get in, get your tickets ahead of time and show up early. One thing that I want to tell you about the Meridian Speedway that was kind of nice, when COVID first hit, obviously all of the indoor stuff everywhere shut down, but the Meridian Speedway stayed open even during the heart of the quote-unquote lockdown that we had in Idaho, which wasn't even a lockdown, but nobody could go do anything inside, so they were like, all right, we're going to go to the Speedway. It's outside. And they were overfilled, the grandstands. Over 5,000 people there filled the grandstands, and then they had people just coming in and just walking all over the place so that they could watch the races. And obviously, some people didn't like that, so the fire department came out there and was like, hey, you need to shut this down. We're in a lockdown. And the Meridian Speedway was like, make us. And the fire department was like, oh, okay, keep doing what you're doing then. So that was pretty neat to see. Chances are, if you're living in Idaho, that you're a proponent of the Second Amendment and you enjoy exercising that right. Even though Idaho has tons of public land outside of town where you can go and shoot, we also have an indoor shooting range in Meridian, so you don't have to drive out too far. One staple of the village at Meridian is going to be Big Al's right next door. They have a ton of fun activities to offer there. They have dozens of bowling lanes, and they even have cosmic bowling sections. They have a huge arcade upstairs. They have a sports bar upstairs as well, and a family-friendly diner that you can go and hang out as well. They have live music, all sorts of stuff. It is a great place to go spend the day. One of my all-time favorite things about Meridian, and it's an absolute non-negotiable, is the Krispy Kreme store. It is the place that they actually make the donuts right in front of you, so you can go and check them out and get fresh hot donuts right off the conveyor belt. Meridian has tons of shopping in the city, and you could actually live your whole life there without even needing to leave Meridian to do any shopping. They've got all the grocery stores that you could possibly need, from Winco to Costco to Whole Foods and even Albertsons. One thing that you may not know is that the Albertsons organization actually started here in the Boise area with Joe and Catherine Albertson, and there even is a Catherine Albertson Park in Boise that Joe donated when his wife passed. The biggest state-of-the-art Albertsons was just built within the past few years, and it's definitely something to see. It has the biggest fresh produce section I've ever seen, with fruits and veggies from around the world that I didn't even know existed. They have all sorts of hot food available, from barbecue and pizza, and they even have a sushi counter and a salad bar. They even have a full-blown sports bar inside with big screen to watch all of the sports games. There is a huge bakery section as well, all of the fresh meat and seafood that you could possibly want, along with one of the biggest wine selections I have ever seen. If you like drinking beer, they have more styles of beer in store than I'd ever even know what to do with. In addition to all the new growth in Meridian, one of the biggest things that I especially am looking forward to is the brand new Shield store, which is slated to finish construction in 2024. For Shields, all we have in Meridian as far as sporting goods stores is pretty much going to be Sportsman's Warehouse, REI, or something along those lines, or some smaller mom and pop shops. Meridian is going to be one of the places in the valley where you're going to see a lot of condos, townhomes, and apartments. It hasn't been super common to see this much close quarters living in the Boise area before, but the demand is really high right now. One of the nice things to see is that many builders and developers are actually incorporating more patio homes and low maintenance homes in their single family communities. This is nice for a lot of people, as they don't need to worry about the maintenance of their landscaping for whichever reason that might be. However, they still get the satisfaction of living in nice upper end communities. Driving in Meridian can be a little hectic at times, but if you're used to driving in heavy traffic, you'll get by just fine. It's pretty easy to find your way around the city, as the city roads are laid out on a grid pattern that is for the most part 1 mile by 1 mile blocks. There are 3 interstate interchanges that allow you to get from Interstate 84 to Meridian, but it will be 4 interchanges before long, as there's a huge project to bring Highway 16 down and connect it to Interstate 84, which should seriously change the pattern of traffic in the area. Some of the biggest roads in Meridian are going to be Highway 55, or Eagle Road, that runs north and south right through Eagle. You've got Interstate 84 to the south, Highway 16 will be to your west, and Highway 2026, or Chinden Road, runs east and west just north of Meridian. Meridian has grown at a much higher rate than a lot of the other cities in the valley, and it's going to be for 2 main reasons. One being, it is in the direct center of the valley with everything surrounding it, so its location really is phenomenal. Second is that since it's such a newer city and they had a ton of room, the city was able to grow a lot later than a lot of the earlier cities that were built in the area, so the infrastructure was able to be built at a later style, which accommodated for the growth really well. Just about every single restaurant you could possibly want can be found in Meridian. They've got everything from the typical fast food chains to restaurants like Texas Roadhouse and Applebee's to upper end restaurants like the Kona Grill or the Yard House. Another thing I have to add is we do not have an In-N-Out Burger anywhere in the Boise area. However, the first one has just started construction in March of this year, and I just had In-N-Out for the first time 2 weeks ago when I was down in Utah, and I seriously don't know what the hype is. So if I'm wrong, tell me down below, but it definitely did not live up to the hype. Some of the biggest employers are going to be St. Luke's Hospital, the West Ada School District, and the Sensi Candle Company. And a fun fact for those of you that didn't know, Sensi was actually started here in the Boise area by a couple of housewives that had extra time making candles. When it comes to housing in Meridian, you're going to find that the vast majority of homes are going to be built in the early 2000s leading up to the '08 recession, and then we didn't really see much building happening until the last 5 or so years, and a huge amount of homes were built in this time period. So you're going to see a large amount of newer homes in fairly new subdivisions with a mix of different builders like Toll Brothers, Hayden Homes, Hubble Homes, CBH, along with a handful of custom builders in the upper end neighborhoods. The further away you go from town in the south area of Meridian, you will find older homes built in the 60s and 70s, and you might be able to get some on larger sized lots, even acreage properties. As for schools, Meridian falls in the West Ada School District, which is going to have some of the most desired schools in the Boise area. There are 13 high schools in the West Ada School District, including Centennial High School, Meridian High School, Eagle High School, Mountain View, and Owyhee High School, just to name a few. As for hospitals, there are a handful in Meridian, including St. Luke's and Salzer, and a host of smaller specialized institutes throughout the city with primary health and urgent care spots as well. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments section below, or tell me what I did wrong in the video if I missed something. I highly encourage you to go check out my Nampa video and my Caldwell video as well. And until next week, I'm Isaac Crace with Top Idaho Real Estate, your third generation Idaho Realtor.